Hey guys, welcome to another stream of the Routemaster. Last week we got the chassis attached, and that was a bear. This week we're going to start with putting the back end on, and from there start on the upper deck. Start on the upper deck benches. 4 issues worth of benches are already built. 42 through 46 all came with 42 through 45 all came with benches. So I've actually gone ahead and built them. And welcome everybody. Dave's here, Gordon's here, Todd's in the background producing. Gilly's here. Did I miss anybody? No, that's everybody. So let me go ahead and switch cameras, and hopefully this will work because I was playing with OBS a little bit today. And I have the same setup that I did yesterday with the 3 cameras, except for I've gone a step further and I now can really rapidly switch through the views.
I gotta ask, why does it dip to black between each one?
I've got to actually set it to fade.
That's doing a dip to black.
What was it? It's fade. Hang on, let me take a look. It's fade to color, so it's fading to black.
You're right. I would just set it to fade. That way, it'll just blend your screens together. It won't dip to black every time.
You like this?
Nope. There you go.
It had to get it out of its system. That last one, it just doesn't like.
Well, sometimes you can override a scene. You can set the fade transition on a scene, and every time you go to that scene, it'll cause that transition versus the global one.
Well, while we're playing with it, just because we are playing with it, that's a little bit faster.
There you go.
I had it fading at a second. Now it's fading at 50 milliseconds.
Yep.
Eric is here. He was. Did I miss him when I was doing the shout outs to everybody? I apologize if I did.
Well, he said he was second. He just missed. That was before the stream started.
That's true. Maybe he left because he was second.
Yeah. Hello, Gordon.
So I discovered something when I was messing with the cameras, because I was polishing the glass on the window and wiping down the camera. You know, the bottom corner here is okay. This upper screw here was actually loose. You know, there's nothing down here in the bottom left corner, but up here at the top it was also flexing pretty badly. So I fixed that. And now, let's see. First thing it says to do is if I installed the pole, which I did not, this pole right here, did not install it. It says to remove that. And then it shows putting screws into the bottom of the bus. So the first thing I got to do, and I realized what I've been doing every time I pick it up, I've been rolling it on the wheels, which is a real good way to snap those screws off with the weight of this thing. So let me not put it on the wheels. And actually, let me move it forward a little bit so that you can at least see some of what I'm doing. It slides in here like this. Probably should take this tape off because otherwise it's going to be stuck there forever. You get this in as best I can so it's out of the way. There are lugs here on the bottom of the bus that don't line up. Isn't that awesome? I probably should have put it in place while it was upside right. Take that tape completely off. Let me see.
Finally attaching that last part, huh?
Yes. Yeah, it fits on there really well with the bus upside right. It'll probably fit with it turned the other way better. See if I can avoid snapping that wall off at the last minute. And this thing has quite some heft right now. And there's lots of little fragile pieces on it that I'm like, I don't want to put my hand there. Like the grill on the front.
Yeah. Is that the sound you make every time you pick it up? Sucking through your teeth?
What? Yeah, pretty much. Well, my right shoulder right now has been bothering me too. And so anytime I lift this thing, I'm lifting it with my right shoulder. And I'm like, oh, that hurts. Unfortunately, I believe I am probably going to be heading in for shoulder surgery sooner rather than later. Those screws are just in a bad place to even try and get to. Would help if I was putting it in right way. So yeah, I didn't even look. What screws do I need? 4 FM screws. Better yet, where did I put my? Oh, there's a screwdriver with no bits. That's really helpful. Get the 4 screws out. And the tub of oil. I want to double check that I've got the right bit on here. Yeah, that should work. Oh, wow. That sucks.
Yeah, Dave says he has a frozen shoulder. Oh, have to have injections to ease it. Ouch.
Yeah, my left shoulder has been surgically repaired. I had a bad rotator cuff. Bad enough. Well, I'm one of these people that by the time I'm ready, I go to the hospital, it's almost time to just keep me there because I'm about to die. And so on my left shoulder, when I finally went in and I had them start looking at it, they didn't see anything on the ultrasounds, the x-rays and the ultrasounds. When they went in for exploratory, it was supposed to be just go in, exploratory, do a little bit, maybe shave some frayed muscles off. And it went from, a couple hour surgery to 8 or 10 hours of repairing a completely blown up rotator cuff. I mean, it was destroyed. And
there's Eric. Howdy, everyone.
And it was kind of funny with it too, because the whole thing of they ask you what's your pain level on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, I don't like pain meds. And so I had the epidural block. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Not going to be any big deal. When the epidural block wore off at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was literally in tears. But I still had a sense of humor because my wife asked me at that point, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your pain level? I said 342 without blinking.
Dave says that's going to get much heavier. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be rolling it over on its side anymore. I hope.
Hopefully. And Eric says he had a shoulder repaired too, much better after surgery.
Yes. Okay, this is not working well because it's not lining up right. So I'm going to get inventive here. Oh, yeah. It's just hanging down. There, that's better. So I'm going to get inventive here. And I've got this last screw hanging off the table, the socket. So I'll be back in a minute. I'm going under the table.
Na 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 na. Time's up.
Yeah, where's it at? Okay. Very hard to see these things. Wow. My grandson is upstairs in his room playing a game, and I just heard him from here. I believe his door is closed.
Is he mad at the game?
Huh?
Is he mad at the game?
Kind of. Oh, you know what? I'm sitting here trying to put a screw into the hole that already has one.
Excellent.
When you turn the bus on its side and then back over, it kind of changes the perspective. Note to self, do not lift the bus when you're sitting all the way on the floor. It's heavy.
Good to know. Kind of like these camera views.
I do too. When I saw that I could set it up, I was like, that would be really cool.
You didn't get the borders in though.
I didn't even think about that. Why didn't you come over to my house today and remind me to do that, Todd? I mean, just because you're in Phoenix.
Super easy to do.
I know. I didn't think about it. Hang on. This is not working at all. That's the sound of an old man getting off the floor. I already have one of the screws in most of the way, so hopefully this will stay in place. This one lug was not lining up at all. Actually, I've got 3 of the 4 in place. This last one's not playing nice.
Gilly says that I need a raise. 2 streams and an IT fix today. Well, double of nothing is nothing, so I get a raise. Yay!
Yeah, we already doubled Todd's salary once.
Yeah. Ian says, don't get a hernia, Buck. I agree.
I won't.
And he follows up with, tonight an old man builds a bus with extra strength and old man grunts.
Exactly.
Man grunts.
Well, this old man, you know, the old man grunts. When you grunt like that, it gives you more power.
That's right.
Okay. That's 2. That's cross-threaded. They're all threaded in there. Just some of them aren't in as far as I'd like. I don't want to do what I did last week. Remember, I twisted the head off of one screw? And I do have, I don't think, well, nobody else is going to see it besides me, but I do have the cheat sheet that Dave made up and posted to our Facebook, to the, I don't remember if it was Hobby Time Modeler's Facebook or if it was the Discord that he posted it to, but I've got that up for the tables underneath here. Okay. I did, actually. Truly. Using 4 black FM screws and then JP, 4 JPs. You know, building a model shouldn't be hard work. You shouldn't sweat when building a model, I don't think. So there's 4 screws. They are Let me see. Look at that. So they go here, 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 and here. Just to make sure that I tighten it up from the bottom up, so to draw it in if need be. I'm going to start with the bottom towards the inside.
Do you do the thing where you put them all in and then tighten them all together?
Actually, I'm putting them all the way in because it's in place pretty much. But you're right, I probably should have done that instead. I put the first one all the way in.
Ian wants to know since when. Gilly says shouldn't be hard. And then Ian follows up with, is it normal to pee a bit when building a model?
Yes, actually it is, Ian. Depends on how old you are. But that could be a combination of things. Like you could have just forgotten to get up. I used to do streams and I would occasionally have to leave during the stream and everybody would say, "Old man break." So Ian, if you're having a pee and not leaving when you're not on a stream, you need to change that bad behavior. It depends, does it?
Oh God. Shh.
Shh. Okay. Next step, fit all the cables into the circuit board, except for I want to say, what is it? There's one board. They just play, yeah. No. There's one cable.
That's
that
gross.
Yes. One cable that says specifically on here, okay, 41K is too short to reach the C socket. We are aware of this problem and will be supplying an extension cable in stage 71. Leave it unplugged. So don't get out the cable stretcher. Just leave it unplugged. This, I should be able to close the oil.
Ian says his next workbench will have a urinal under it. Just never leave.
Okay, let me bring up the picture. And I really appreciate that from you, Dave. I'm sure it is going to be immensely helpful. Let me see. Just looking. This cable here, this one right here, there is no way that it would reach all the way back here. Wait. Hang on. Looking. Oh. Okay. I'm looking at it, and from my perspective, does that mean did I put the board in upside down? I put the board in upside down.
Uh-oh.
Well, there's nothing connected to it yet, so it's not a big deal. And I don't think I even looked at the book when I put the board in. So cable C would reach right now. No, that's the thing is I keep forgetting that maybe you should read the instructions every now and then.
You don't do that, though.
I don't. It's more fun. Look at pictures and go. So, yeah, the board's in there backwards. It fit. Isn't that the most important part? As long as it fits, it's good.
Like a cat. If it fits, I sits.
Okay, now the board matches Dave's diagram. I was looking at Dave's diagram and I'm like, that's wrong. It's all wrong. My only question is, did Dave put it up or put it in backwards too? Let me get this last screw in. So now that the board is right side up, I can show this is cable C here. And this socket right here is for cable C. There is no way that would ever reach. So fit B onto cable. You know, the
easier. A lot of people learn by pictures, eh, Eric?
This is cable D. Where does cable D go? And cable D is a hair too short. I was able to pull a little bit of slack. So it's either going to work or it's not. But behind cable D, cable J. And of course, cable J is not there yet. Yeah, cable D will reach, barely. Let's see if I can move it around these other ones to the front. I would hate to have to take the chassis back off. So, hey Dave, you know these connectors, the 2-pin connectors, or maybe you might even have them on your website, Todd.
What's that?
The 2-pin connectors, I forget what they're called.
It depends. Do they have the blade or not? Because there's JST.
No blade. There's no blade, but D is too short. It'll reach, but it's going to be way stressed and break. So if somebody has them in their, in their box of tricks, it would be really nice if you would post a link to Amazon where I could get them.
I didn't get them from Amazon.
Where'd you get yours?
Oh, what was the name of that place? I know I got some of them from a bunch of them from eBay. Oh, DigiKey. Sorry.
All right.
So
well, if you could,
DigiKey sells them, and then you can find them on eBay too. You just got to get the pitch right.
So K goes here. Yeah, that way I can. Any of them that are too short, I'm not going to mess with. I'm going to leave them disconnected. I'd rather buy some parts than have this thing work and then not work. And of course, I read the note where it says tweezers are helpful with this, and I'm ignoring that helpful note. So D is the one that won't fit. E is great. E is long as all get out. So I got C and B left. They're both too short. That's okay. I suppose I could plug P in as well, the power wire. Probably doesn't say to do that yet, but that's okay. There's no batteries in the power box. And eventually I'm going to replace the power box anyway with just a wall cord. Let's see. Cable A. Yeah, see, they got a lot more. They have a lot more slack in the picture than I have on cable B, and that's probably because I didn't route it right. Let me see. Yep, that is it for this stage. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to pick it up. Let me put the battery box back in here. And tape over this thing so the battery box stays in place.
Dave says you may get extensions later on in the build.
Ah, okay. I know there's one extension in 71 in issue 71 for cable D. Maybe there's more for. Well, in that case, I'll wait and see or I could actually go through all the parts because I got my last shipment last week. So right now I'm just rolling through the pages, all the seats that I built. And let me see, just because. Let me roll back up here and take a real quick look at the picture. Yeah, the picture shows this pole back in place, but I'm going to leave it off for right now. There is going to be one more time I have to roll the bus. And it's not going to be roll the bus. It's going to be roll the bus to where the back end is sticking out over the edge of the table. So this takes us all the way to stage 66. Let me move the chassis out of the way. Put it on the really cool stand that Ian said works really great for models or for RC models. The funny thing is the center of balance on this bus is nowhere near the center of the bus. I sit here and I move it back and forth until it's balanced and not tilting either forward or back. So on to stage 66. Blue towel can go away now. I was sitting here looking, there's the scalpel. I like the scalpel better. I was like, where's my knives? I cleaned up a little bit. After the stream yesterday, we went straight outside and did Christmas lights. So the bench was still a mess. My desk was a mess. I had to clean up my desk before I could go to work this morning. Oh, Eric just took a nap. You can always tell when Eric's taking a nap because he immediately says, I'm awake. Did I miss anything?
You startled him.
Yeah, probably. So this is rear back seat panel. You got the backrest, you got the seats, and one set of legs. Oh, another panel here. I just realized I brought this over thinking that it was going to get attached. I don't think I missed that. No, that's wide open. Okay. I wouldn't put it past me to miss something. So, seat parts out. And here's picture this part right here that I'm about to do 16 more times, because that's how many seats I did off camera.
Sounds painful to me.
I don't know. Was it? You were on the stream when I did it.
Yes, but I was distracted.
Yeah, that's true. You were building something, I think. What was it? The Mandalorian ship, wasn't it?
Oh, probably. That thing came out so great.
It did. I was almost going to my wife saying, I need this. But then I was like, where would I put it? Because I still have many Legos in boxes from our move to California because I just don't have somewhere to put them. like the Taj Mahal. The London bus is up on top of a curio cabinet, which is very convenient because the curio cabinet has lights and it actually has a plug on the top of the curio. It's very convenient having that plug up there when we sat the bus or the bridge up there.
Yeah. Ian says it can't be as bad as building tank tracks. Probably not that bad.
Oh, I don't know. Ian, you should build some furl tank tracks.
And then Gilly says, Todd, did you mail it out yet? I don't know what he's talking about.
But the furl tracks, which Eric now has that tank, and the not quite finished tracks. You know what safety wire is, Todd?
I do.
So, let me explain it to everybody. Safety wire is almost like magnet wire, but it's not a wire for conducting electricity. It's a very thin wire, and they can be up to 41 thousandths of an inch, or I've dealt with up to 41 thousandths of an inch safety wire when I was working on F-16s. This stuff was actually thinner than that. And to get it, basically you had this little hole that ran all the way through the tracks, and you had to run this wire from one side to the other, and then get a dot of super glue in one specific spot, but not on the rest of the other tracks so that it would still move.
Yeah. Gilly says metal tracks are fun. And then Ian says those metal tracks with the wire to connect them.
Yes, furl tracks.
Yep.
I will tell you, I will probably, the next time I build a tank, I will probably use those type of tracks again because I really like the way they look. It just sucked trying to build them.
And then Eric says, since we're here, who would be up for a real space group build come January?
How long?
Building space things? That'll be perfect for my James Webb Telescope and solar orbiter.
And how long would I have to build a model, Eric? That's the key thing.
Yeah.
If we're talking January to January, I'm in. Okay. So lugs here, screw holes here, sockets for the lugs, and this uses JP screws.
Ian says those tracks are a waking nightmare.
Yes, they are.
And then
I worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked for like 2 months on them, 2 to 3 hours a day, and did not quite get all of the tracks done, all 300 and something of them.
Ugh.
And other things with that model. I rage quit that model and said, Eric, you want it?
And Gilly says Dragon Lincoln Link tracks are the best. Ian's responding to Eric about 1 year might be long enough for him to build his 350 refit. Maybe. Might be long enough. He'll start now and he'll be done by next January.
So what?
He'll be done by next January.
Yeah. Well, it took me about 9 months to do the space shuttle and launch tower. That was a really fun build.
Is it even done, your launch tower?
Yeah, it's been done for a while. No, it was never X-Wing done. It got done. I never did go back and do all the decals on the shuttle. It looks fine. The key thing is more the tower with the shuttle and the lighting on it. I lit both the tower and both parts of the tower, and if I remember right, I put lights into the caterpillar, the crawler for the shuttle as well. So yeah, Eric, I think there's a lot of us that would be in for a real space build. Yeah, that would give me.
I would be in.
Yeah, well, that would give me an excuse to get my Dragon 1/72nd scale Saturn V back out finally and actually work on it. That would not take very long. What would take forever is I have a papercraft launch tower for that thing. Putting that together and lighting it would be very exciting. But it is possible. I've seen pictures of somebody has done that.
Yeah, Gilly says after he does his other kits, he'll do a refit 1000 scale with lights.
Well, see, that's my problem. I have too many big kits going. Okay. 2 more benches for the bus. Fitting the upper deck rear seats. Okay. Let me grab the pieces parts. And a box full of seats.
Oh my God.
I told you, 16 of them suckers.
Eric says January to January for the Real Space group build. A year-long group build? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And then he says that January also starts the Halloween group build, which ends in October. 10 months for an October Halloween build?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Well, see, that lets people do multiple if they want to. Okay, so this is like, they've got it like this in the picture, but it'll sit like this. These 2 posts are going to match up with these 2 posts here. This is going to sit here like so. It actually sinks down into the deck. And then I didn't get them out yet, but I'm sure they're JP screws. JP screws JP screws are going to end up being like the what was it? AP for the DeLorean.
Right? Gilly says he builds slow.
He lies too.
You know who builds fast? Donnie. Did you see how quickly he put together that little car?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't and all.
You know who else builds really fast? I don't know if you've ever watched any of his stuff, but Boyd Crompton. The man is a machine. But he also, he did what a lot of us would like to think we would want to do. He stopped his day job and now builds models for a living.
Wow. I want to do that.
Yeah, I do too. I think, maybe. Then again, maybe not.
Gilly says Donnie is a machine. He is.
Okay, so this seat from the last stage and one of the ones from stage 64, which is going to match up with that one, except of course I didn't. Oh, look at that. I did. 63, 62. Sometimes I outsmart myself. I even said while we were on the live stream that I was going to label these.
Oh, well, that should help, right?
Yep. Of course, you know, it's going to be the last one I look at. Oh, no, it's not. So, and the key thing is, problem which Which started kit do I do today?
That is also Buck's problem. How many started kits do you have?
19 or so.
Mm-hmm.
If you count the Christmas build, 20. So yeah, the key thing about this is that there's no pipe or no part up here for the handrail, the pole that runs to the ceiling to connect to. So these are going to hook on here. Legs have screw holes in them. They're going to hook in here.
Eric says Donnie's keys to success is only doing one model at a time. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that is Donnie's. Donnie's smarter than some of us. He manages not to build too many things at once. Of course, then Spence, who used to come by but doesn't come to HTM all that much anymore, Spence did a really fantastic bird of prey a couple of years ago. It was beautiful. I think he actually had hollow brass tubes for the disruptors.
Isn't that part of like what is this? The strawberry kits or something? There's add-on kits, and there's a lot of metal and.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing is Spence built his bird of prey before those came out.
Oh wow!
And I don't think anybody has released yet the bird of prey disruptors for the wingtips that are actually hollow that you can run fiber through. And that's what Spence did, was he ran fiber through some brass tube. Okay, come on, get back on. I had it pop out of the lug on the bottom of the seat, pop out of the socket. The one thing I don't like about these seats when they're like this, though, is I don't know how really fragile they are, but they just have that one thing, that the legs holding them up. And it's actually the exact same one on the testers. Routemaster. So here's another one from 64. I managed to grab the exact right one. This one has the connection point for the pole to go up to the roof. Just because I'm not even thinking, not thought about it, and I'm not going to bother, I'm leaving the tape on the bottom that has the part number or issue number that it came out of.
Knowing me, I would have used a Sharpie anyway. Never see it, you know.
Yeah, well, I just wrote it on a piece of tape. I could have used a Sharpie, but when I did it, I kind of thought I was going to take them off. Let me see. You can almost see it there. The light is just not quite right. Hang on. You can see the tape there on the bottom there.
Yeah, but you won't see that.
Yeah, if I bring it up higher, you can. It will focus, but can't see it as well. I may have to get big lights like you've got, Todd, sometime.
Well, the soft boxes are nice, but they're not super bright. So they spread out so much light.
So they put out a lot of light, but over a huge area is what I'm hearing.
It's not very focused. So I mean, I don't get a lot of hard shadows, which is great for the photography, but it's tough when it's video likes a lot of light. It always looks like on the screen that my video is dark, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, and what I really need to do is figure out how to get these Logitechs not to strobe when I have the main lights on in here. Right now I have just the three of the panel lights on because the Logitechs don't like the LED lights I have. And I know it's because they're not designed for photography at all. They're designed to be in a shop, maybe a high bay.
Yeah.
But for $40 for two LED, basically fluorescent replacements, I wasn't going to pass that up. And it's kind of funny because I actually have twice gotten in touch with the company because they have like a 4-year warranty on them. And out of the 4 I bought, I've had 2 of the 4 go bad.
Oh.
The LED strips are still good. The starters went bad. So I've gotten them replaced. It took them a while. They were out of stock. It took them almost 4 months to get me new lights, but they replaced them. And it was funny because I had one set on order already. You know, they were going to send me in one set. And I called them up and said, oh, by the way, another set just went. So I got 4 sets of lights. Okay. There's the first batch of seats for the upper deck. Right here's where the stairs are going to come up. And it points out in the pictures where these are, where the pins for the poles that go to the roof are. And the next stage, this is the rear deck. Next stage is the central deck. And it has the deck and a bunch of JP screws. That's it. This is going to go on here like that. But before you do anything, it's got me putting more seats on there. Move this one aside. Let's see. It's going to have 64 and 65. So I got 360. No, let me see. Okay, I got 2 64s and 1 65 on this side. The only difference being, truly, they're all the same except for the ones with the pin on the top. So the 65 without a pin is going to go in the front. And I'm holding it. I've got this sitting here this way. I'm about ready to put the seats on this way. They'd have been facing the wrong way.
They're not like keyed holes or anything? It looks like.
I was about to say that I wouldn't actually be able to do that because I didn't show it earlier.
Yeah, they are keyed. Yeah.
Yep. But if I really wanted to put those seats in that way, I could do it. I'm waiting. I'm expecting sometime in the next half hour or so, Andrea is going to come home and the dogs are going to freak out. She had to go out and do some errands, and the last one she's doing is she's going to Aldi. And I'm sure that I'm sure that people on the other side of the pond may not know it as Aldi. I'm not sure what it is in the UK. I know it's Lidl in Austria, but it's almost the first time I saw them in Austria or in Germany, I thought it's almost like a convenience store, but it's not. It's closer. It's closer to like a somewhere like Sam's, where you get the cheaper stuff, but there's no club fees. Really good place to shop. And Andrea and I both like to shop there because they occasionally have stuff from Europe. Check. Which there are times that she very much misses Europe. There are times I very much miss Europe.
I love Europe.
I do too. That's why I spent 13 years over there.
I like going to see things. You know, everybody thinks the America's been around for so long. It's so narrow-sighted because there's buildings over there and castles over there that are older than the entire country. You know, longer than the United States has been around.
Oh yeah, and some of the buildings there, that Austrians have a really good sense of humor. I don't know how long this one statue has been sticking out of this building, but the raid that he's emulating, it's a Turkish guy sticking out of the window basically as he dives out of the window during a raid that was like in the 800s.
Yeah, I love all the old architecture and stuff. I love it.
62, 262, 63. Isn't this so much better than watching me sit here and build all these seats? It was a very good idea you had, Todd, to build these on a Friday stream instead.
Well, the repetitive stuff, you know, you can do that off screen.
Yeah. Well, and I have to say, I know this is a little bit repetitive too, but at least there's a little bit different to each one because it's a different section of the floor. This is actually the only, since I started streaming Partworks, this is the only one that I've done anything offline. And these are actually going pretty quick because I'm almost done with the second piece of the floor. And so that'll be 2 stages inside of 30 minutes. So that, don't know if I told you guys, probably, I'm hoping that if Agora is going to come out with anything really cool that I got to have, that they're going to do it by the end of the year.
Well, I could have sworn they said there 2 or 3 will be announced before the year end.
Really?
I said that, yeah.
Good, because I want to say, you know, I've got the last bit of the last pack, and I don't know if everybody realizes that you get an email after you know, about a month after you get your last pack, you get an email from them saying, here's your code to get your, you know, whatever bonus level you're on. I'm on the bonus level where I'll get the first pack for free and should get, I believe, 10% off the entire build. because
There you go.
this is my second one. And so when I get that email, I do have to say the code's good for a year. When I get that email, I'm going to use it right away. Hopefully. I would like to use it right away and go, start on the, start if they have something magical come out. If not, it's going to be the Bismarck. First time I saw that, I was like, I like that. I got to have that someday. My wife surprised me when she was like, I agree. So on the bottom here, I'm being very gentle the way I set these on here. You got these bars that stick out here, the lugs on the bottom of the middle deck, and they just will hook on there like that. Once I get a couple screws in, I will turn it back over so you can really see the way it goes together. But I don't want to leave them sitting upside down on those seats for very long. Like I said when Eric was streaming his game today, bad things could happen.
Yeah.
I just had a random thought. Imagine what this thing would weigh if it was all metal.
Oh,
Everywhere that's supposed to be metal was metal. It would be freaking heavy. So that's how that goes on there. I'm actually having to look at a different screen, at the OBS screen, because where it was at was directly in front of the camera. I can close that for right now. I've still got the schematic up. 6 screws are going to hold these together. And it's still going to be a little bit flimsy because, these tabs are not going to be that strong. But there's also going to be a metal frame underneath it. And once it's inside the rest of the bus, there's never going to be any weight on it anyway. Still have not. Well, I did a little bit of searching, but I did not find anywhere to get figures of the right scale. I would love to put a dozen people in this thing, as long as it doesn't cost me another $500. And here we have the last row of seating, or last part of the floor. That was almost really entertaining. You guys would have said I was really modeling now, because I almost sliced my finger with the scalpel.
well, apparently that's what everybody's waiting for, disaster. Me crashing planes, you bleeding.
Yeah. Hey, that's entertainment, right? So let me just get the last 6 seats up here. Oh, that's right. I was moving the wheels on the bus earlier today, and turning them, and the steering wheel didn't move at all. I forgot that I had taken this out. That would be the steering arm that is supposed to be under the bus, but I just couldn't get it to go together right. Hang on. There I am again, trying to put the seats on the wrong side. Okay. I'm going as fast as I can, guys. Honestly, I am.
Well, who are you rushing for?
I'm not. But I'm trying to get past what is, for me, would be boring. Oh. This seat is at a decidedly bad angle. When it goes into the sidewall goes into the bus, it will lift it up. Because I don't know if I ever showed that. There's two little pegs here. Come on, focus. There's two little pegs that will drop into a part on the wall. It's not really a socket for the pegs. It's going to be just kind of an indent, if I remember right, on the bottom floor. Maybe it's not that bad of an angle. This other one is almost the same. Well, that ain't gonna work.
What happened?
I have two pins in a row.
Uh-oh.
This one's supposed to be back one.
See, I thought they were all numbered.
They are, but they're not. They're not fully numbered. It's 65A and 65B. All I did was put 65 on the bottom.
Gilly says, "Force it. Get a hammer."
Well, it went. The problem is that bar won't have anywhere to hook.
Dinner?
Come on. What's going to be funny is now it's going to fit right. I don't know if you guys heard that. That was Great White Beast. That's what I call Apollo. Actually, my nickname for him, because of the way he sounds when he barks, is Borp. And he answers to it. Because that's what it sounds like he's saying, is Borp. It's funny to watch him during the day too, because we have dogs on the back side of us, and he'll stand there at the fence and stare through the slats, looking at the other dogs. But what he doesn't realize is those other dogs might be territorial. And so he might not be happy if he was ever able to get over there and quote unquote play. The rest of the dogs, because he's a Samoyed, so he's a pretty good sized dog. And so he's never realized how big he is compared to the other dogs. And they just don't like 70-pound dog trying to play with the 25-pound dog's not so bad, but the 5-pound Pomeranian, Cody just really, really hates it. Andrea's home.
You can't tell it all.
She just closed the door. That's every time she comes home. That's the sounds that we hear. She goes out to the front yard and they do that. You've been gone so long.
They really have no sense of time. You've been gone for a year, or find a minute, they're back like they haven't seen you in that long.
I know. Oh, it's funny because when I go upstairs, Cody's the same way with me. He just, when he sees me, he starts barking at me when I get upstairs.
Gilly says it's the Buck and Puppy show.
It is.
You know, one of your mini cameras should be watching the dogs. That's what you should do. You can have a puppy cam on the corner.
The only problem is they're never here, except for right now. Murphy got a treat, and he's like, "That's my room. I'm going in there." He just plowed right through the door.
They don't like come sit on a bed with you when she's gone?
Oh, they sleep with us. It's funny. I get up in the morning, the dogs literally wait. When they hear the alarm, especially if if I'm sick or something and I don't go to work, they look at me like I did something wrong. Because when I wake up in the morning and they hear the alarm, they're like, "Yeah, we get Dad's bed now."
But I mean, when you're in the shop, do they like have a bed in there that they?
Oh yeah.
There is
a bed here.
Camera on your bed, on the beds. You have a puppy cam.
Yeah, the only problem is they're not there unless my wife is down here.
They'll send her off to the library every day. When you're going to stream, off you go.
Well, the only problem then is that the dogs will then sit by the front door.
No. Well, I tried, everybody. I tried to get a puppy cam.
Yeah. Well, I could do that, but it probably wouldn't. You wouldn't have much to look at except for a dog bed. She went grocery shopping and apparently didn't get out of the store for really cheap because Jordan's. I heard him kind of straining as he was carrying the groceries in. This is getting unwieldy.
That is a really big model.
Thank you.
I don't know. Get in there. Almost done with the top deck floor. I'm not sure. I have another frame piece over there. I'm not sure how much, or I have a frame piece over there. I'm not sure whether it attaches to the bottom of this or if it attaches to the ceiling of the first floor. Let's see if that one's still. Okay, let me clean up my screws. So we have a lower deck, or an upper deck, sorry. Fix each tab in place. Lower deck ceiling framework. And it attaches to the bottom of the upper deck. This build is almost too big for my setup, and I have two monster benches. Imagine that, more JP screws. You know, I thought about it, I didn't. This is actually the last stage I have here in the house. The rest of the parts live in a big plastic tub that's out in the garage. Carefully turn the assembly upside down. Make sure it is well supported so that the seats do not get damaged. Okay, I read something, so now I got to do something about it. There it is. I was working on some other stuff. That'll work. So I happen to have a couple of chunks of 2x4. Actually, it's 2x3. And speaking of it being 2x3, the funny thing is, everything is made with 2x4s usually. If you're doing something that you don't need the support of a 2x4, like hanging a fence outside, 2x4s are ungodly expensive right now. 2x3s are very cheap. So let's see, this is 2, 4, 5.
Ian says he only does one model at a time.
What? What's wrong with you, Ian? I think you only do. No, I was about to say you only do one at a time. You do 5 artworks at a time.
I had like 10 going at one point.
Well, that's the thing is, you're actually worse than I am because you do that many part works at one time. I do not like, even on the bricks, how that feels. I'm doing it on this side.
Gilly says, who asked Ian? And Ian says, I have enough ADHD without trying to work on multiple models. Has he started his 1350 refit yet? So you decided to do the 16th tank instead?
I think he needs to start that 1350. I could go back to my 350 refit Enterprise. Well, I'm not sure if it's going to be the A or the refit yet. Has one of my proudest paint jobs ever. I forgot to wash the plastic on the saucer. And when I did the top of the saucer, it came out looking good except for an area about this big that just bubbled up and looked like snot. So I cleaned it off. I sanded it down, reprimered that area. I didn't reprimer the whole thing. I reprimered just that area, repainted that area, and it is flawless. Okay. Let me move these blocks out of here. And truly the reason I didn't want to do this upside down is I can feel how flimsy it is, especially the front of the deck here. So that's the frame for the roof on the bottom floor. And this now is a very solid piece. The back is. Let me see. What does it say? Oh, that is actually the end of the book and the end of, that's the end of this stage and the end of the book. Let me open up book 8. Oops, I just hit 7. Because I'm going to wander off to the garage for a minute and grab more parts. Excellent.
Ian says, building the refit isn't the hard part. It's doing the lights and the light blocking. I can imagine. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of, from what I've seen, is a lot of putty work and a lot of masking and it's a lot of work. Eric's here as HTM. Yay!
Yay! Cable C, but you may not have fitted it yet. Okay. So I'll be right back. I will also need 3 AAA batteries. Well, going to make some noise apparently. So that means, oh wow. I remember watching this stage. This one's rather interesting. I'll be right back.
So Ian is saying if you're painting the Aztecs, it's also a huge pain in the ass. Yeah, you know, are you going to paint the Aztecs and mask them off, or are you just going to throw on decals? Decals. And Eric says, Boyd at Trekworks does it all the time. He's a beast when it comes to that. Is that the guy that did the pearlescent paints? Oh, that looked amazing, but it's a lot of work. Ian says, quick, everyone make fun of Buck while he's gone. Alexa, turn off the patio. I can't remember if he calls it Alexa or not. Eric says yes. And Ian's torn 50-50 between decals and the taxidermy paint with the masks. Yeah, I saw that that was those pearlescents or taxidermy paints, which is kind of surprising, but whatever works.
Let's see, Aztecs. Boyd at Trekworks does it all the time. Boyd has done like 45 of them things.
I know, and it looks really good.
Wait, Ian, you don't have to wait till I'm gone to make fun of me. Make fun of me while I'm here. I'll help. '72, '71. Hey, 73. The rest of the framework. And 74. Don't think we're going to make that part because 71 looks quite interesting. Not difficult, just interesting.
Boyd builds them on commission. Oh. Well, that seems a lot easier than doing all the work myself.
Yeah, well, Boyd has been... Actually, the Enterprise refit is what let him... exactly, semi-retirement income.
Well, good for him. Oh, look at all this wiring. Oh, boy.
Yep.
We're going to have some fun, Buck.
Oh, yeah.
It's like stage 48. Go to town.
That's not too bad. But this, I could have used earlier today because the tram parts are in a little plastic box that was just... It was the best thing I could find at the time. And these are going to be really cool. I've seen these lit up. You know, I just thought of something. I went and got this stuff. I did not get the AAAs.
Whoops. Boyd probably charges $1,000 to build one. You're probably right, Ian. I wouldn't be surprised.
At least.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if he's closer to 1,500 to 2,000.
Ian says the Chinese have perfected the copying of shoddy quality of British wiring. Well, I didn't say that right at all. Good job, Ian. And Eric says, he might Ian, but his work is flawless, so it should be well worth it. Is that your extension?
Yes, this is the extension for C. The great thing is that will, to test at least, that will work great for B as well, or D as well. I'm just uncoiling these wires, and they're gonna tell you don't uncoil these wires. There's a push button on the end of that one and a push button on the end of this one. Of course, the sad part's going to be when I hook it up, I push buttons, and nothing works.
Ian says you should light it like a rave club.
No. I saw somebody working on this stage, and you end up laying the top of the roof of the bottom floor next to the bus. I think it was Dave it might have been Dave I watched.
Eric says you can have party goers hanging out the window. Just 3D, just scale down some, get some STL files and scale them up or down to print them.
Well, speaking of which, that's the funny thing, that the window's actually open on this. Not very wide, but they do open.
Ian says, all I think of when I see those push buttons is multiple points of failure. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I'm not quite as brave as Alex was to do his. So let me go grab some double A's, and then I'll move the tram or the bus back over there. Okay, here comes the bus.
Ian says, does anybody make a wireless mod? Not that I know of. Horlicks, Alex, and I built a soldered little circuit board that we added a Bluetooth receiver to, and he controls it with his phone, but not like plug and play yet that I know of.
Well, and don't forget the major part about that upgrade. He then had his computer crash and he lost the code.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still on the actual Arduino, so it still works. It's just he has to rewrite it if he wants to use it anyplace else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Eric says the windows do open up, Buck, but from the inside. And then Gordon says, have seen some where somebody did 3D printed passengers for that bus, but I can't remember where. Because I would think that you can just get characters, and print them as needed.
Well, and that's the thing is I was looking. Actually, let me go back to that view. Let me get the towel. I was looking. I've done some looking on eBay and stuff, and I haven't found anything that is this scale. It's easy to find things that are like 1/43rd, 1/87th, but 1/12th is an odd scale. Actually, let me see. I thought I had knocked something loose down here before, but it doesn't look like that. A little
Harry Potter in there.
Okay. Don't be me. I closed down the circuit board picture. Now I have it back up. I guess I will kind of read their instructions this time, because last time I just read, this one goes here, this one goes here.
And a Where's Waldo? Eric wants a Where's Waldo.
1/12 scale dollhouse figures. I'll have to look into that.
It's not a bad idea. There's probably a bunch of them. Schuhman's here. Hello, Schuh.
Schuh, what's up? Welcome. L goes right there. I love well, actually, this is one that was not too bad. But some of them are plugged in behind other ones, which is a royal pain in the behind.
Ian says that you are Waldo, just with a more disturbing hat.
Well, there you go. I thought my hat only disturbed Eric.
Shu says it still looks like a fire truck. Yep.
So what? Still looks like a fire truck. Yeah, looks like a school bus too. Says cable C is plugged in, but you may not have fit it yet. I can fit that now, but I'm going to have to make sure I'm able to get it back off because I'm going to use it to test B as well, or D. Yeah, it's D that's one that did not fit. And I forget what that is, but if I remember it, that one's actually kind of cool. It's like a horn or something that I want to work.
Ian says the hat disturbs him as well, but not as much as the pajamas.
Meanwhile, Ian's probably sitting there in pajamas.
Probably working from home. Eric says, thanks to my annoyance with Goofy, it has now become a major part of your YouTube identity. It fits.
It has. People would. It's funny when I don't wear the Goofy hat. People think I'm upset. What's wrong, bud? Why aren't you wearing a Goofy hat? So this one has two lights, two light panels, and one LED. It is F. Where is F? F is over here where I can't see it. I've done these things enough that I'm actually looking at the plug and knowing exactly which way it goes in there.
Ian says he's wearing cargo pants. I even have special comfy cargo pants he uses as house pajamas. Huh. Excellent.
Tape the battery box to the side of the bus, they say. It'll be fun, they say. I wear cargo shorts. Cargo pants or pajama pants are no different than loose fitting sweats.
Sue says more than one camera, getting big time.
Oh yeah. And wait, Shu, watch this. I can big the other two cameras. So it says to push this button and nothing happens.
Eric says, are they kosher?
Yay! I don't know if you saw that. Let me turn it back off.
There's let there be light.
Yes. Some of my, well, the wires that run from the board run directly into the board work. I don't know if you can see that those got bright. They lit up.
Yeah, those are for the destination blinds, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Matter of fact.
Like EL panels almost. Well,
Yep.
no, it's got LEDs at the end there. I can see them. Interesting. Shu says it's very impressive.
I am very happy with this. Not sure these are LEDs. I think they are EL panels because they have two.
No, because on the cameras I can see hot spots, and EL wouldn't do that.
Oh, you're right. There's two LEDs in this one and one in here, but they got the spread across them really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Eric says, Ian, you're a fruitcake.
Place the lower deck assembly next to the bus. In other words, the next step. It says get really complicated. They have it this way, and so this is N. That's pretty cool because the pins for the plugs for the top actually connect straight off of the plugs for the bottom lights.
Yeah, Dave says, brilliant. Now try the front lights.
Working on it.
I know.
I'm following step by step.
I know.
Oh, make sure you turn it off before you connect cables. And make sure. Where's my button? Where's my button? Oh, my button's on the other wire. This is going to be my test to make sure it's turned off.
I know. We're going.
Okay, so J.
We're going. Going.
And I have to tell you, Dave, this schematic you sent is a lifesaver. I would be looking all over in there for these. N is back there.
John Paul is here. Hi, John.
Hey, John, welcome. No 24 volts. Eric's not allowed anywhere near the bus,
Right?
except for maybe under the bus. Oh. Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
Plug in J. Well, it says to plug in J and then test the bell, but I plugged them both in. Oh, bell, dork. I'm sitting there pulling the cord.
Okay, so let's go.
Dave says you're welcome.
Okay, that's on.
Ellen,
Yes?
in the back on the counter is your food.
Okay.
Okay.
Where's the
Ian
other
says
one?
the bus would get a flat after running over Eric's spine. Yes. With all that metal?
Yeah, that's true.
And Gilly would say, it says, it's okay, I'll walk with you, Eric.
Trying to find the other button for the bell because it's not ringing. Okay. Let me see if I can. That's not a good way to do that.
Shu says you have a bald spot cam now.
There it is. Hang on. Oh, it is this one. Hang on. Oh, I'm a dork.
What'd you do?
I plugged in C when I'm trying to make noise work. The problem is plug D, this pretty blue wire,
Mm-hmm.
is the speaker. I knew it was something important. So since I have a cable that an extension cable. D is right there, and of course I've moved this to where it's a little bit difficult to get to things. See, the problem is there's no good way to grab this with the roof panel attached. This is where everybody watches me snap 2 of my wheels off.
Please don't do that.
Well, now that I figured out what the problem was, I'm a little bit less concerned. I was getting upset with myself because I want this to at least work the day that I finish it. The day after, if it quits, then it's a bummer. Here's my button so I can make sure my lights are working. That's my indicator that it's turned on. So now,
Ian says you need that giant foam pad from Hobby Lobby. Or the Part Work Upgrades one from Ian Campbell. Eric says, this is your misery, Buck. We'll just eat popcorn and watch.
come on. I may need to adjust this switch. I definitely need to adjust that switch. When it goes the full travel, it barely engages. But that's a good sound. That's a happy sound. That's a sound of something that works.
Shu says you got good schematics and didn't follow them?
I did follow them. The problem is that wire D is too short. Because it's too short, I had to use the extension they gave me for wire C.
He says the model is requesting you stop. Yeah, but Ian is a friend. I'd rather buy from him. Got to support our little modding community. It's not very big.
If you have fitted cable C, 41K, unplug it from socket C. Oh, it tells me to unplug that anyway. One end of extender cable 71F. Oh, never mind. It's telling me to unplug the extender cable. And now plug it back in. So we will have no more sound.
Ian says, I'm shocked Mike Lane didn't make upholstery overlays for the seats in the bus. I'd be surprised that he hasn't, with all the carpet and stuff he does.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people making this. I should ask him about that.
Season. Oops, I plugged it in while it was powered up. Press the switch. Well, this does not work.
Uh-oh.
Well, it just had me plug C back in. Not sure which sound C works for, but I can't use C while I've got to use D because D is sound.
Ian says that would be a $300 set of sticky felt. You're probably right. And he says you may need a busectomy.
Okay. Let me see what happens here. Let me see if I can find those buttons. There they are. Okay, that turned on those lights.
Horn?
Yep. My ex-wife used to say, horn blows, what about the driver? Oh, hang on. That makes sense. Okay. Turn this off. We know the horn works. I will be able to test everything on this and hopefully I won't break this cable in the process or the board. Because C has to be for the headlights.
Did he tell you what each plug was for, or just the numbers, just like the letters?
It's telling, as I go through testing, it tells me what to expect from each thing.
Ah, gotcha.
So there's my power's working. And you can see the headlights is working.
And the interior lights, are they all in the same circuit?
Yes, including the one that I knocked off last week.
Did you fix that already?
Yep. What I did was the screw was shot, so I just super glued it there.
Gotcha.
Turn it back off. Plugs H. Where's H? This is H. H is another light. And I think that was all the sounds that the bus, well, no, there's going to be a button for one for this button as well. When we get to it, I'll check it. The sad part is going to be when they say, okay, take all these cables back out. I don't think they're going to. It's just I'm going to have this massive spaghetti hanging out the side of the bus. Plug N in. And I did. I dropped it all the way to the floor. Down to 2 wires. So Dave, did I tell you how invaluable this diagram is? More than 3 times.
I think you might have said it once or twice.
Yeah. I think Dave should copyright that diagram and send it to them and say, for $50, I'll let you use this in the magazines. So this should do some magic. Well, this is the first one. This should do something. Another light. And see, it literally says, push this button, this light will glow. It says works better if you put it in the dark. J, let's see.
That just tells me the lights aren't very bright when they say that.
Well, they're not really, to be honest. That's interesting. This might be my jumper wire if I don't have to have it, because there's 2 jumpers on this thing for this switch. Yeah, I need to. Okay, C's coming back off, so I can turn on the. This one is for the engine sound. But I have not yet seen cable G. Helps if you put it in there the right direction. Won't fit in the socket otherwise. Okay. I think the only way to turn that off is to turn it off.
Is that supposed to be the engine?
Yes. Wow. They literally have you plug everything in and leave it laying next to the bus. Because that was actually the end of stage 71. So there shouldn't be any more noise needed. I'm going to plug C1 in permanently, and we'll sort out something to do with D. Fortunately, D is in a place that I can get to it.
Schumann says warp speed. I agree. It sounds like it just kept accelerating and accelerating. Next thing you know, it's the night bus and it's going 200 miles an hour.
That's okay.
Oh,
And we'll probably,
somebody's on NMB's account. Another great stream, Buck. Electrics all work. Brilliant.
I appreciate that. I actually, and
Probably Mark.
I actually
Mark.
posted the stream to their page.
Oh,
Okay.
it's Christine. It's Crafty Chris. Hi, Christine.
Hey, Christine. Where did I put it? Let me see. How many wires are on here? Upper deck lighting. Oh, that's not too bad. There's actually only three separate wires here.
Yes, Schumann. Ludicrous speed. He's gone plaid.
They've gone to plaid.
Great movie.
Never pull the emergency brake at a ludicrous speed. That's a classic. Bad things could happen. So let me glance through this. It says connect free socket at the end of N. And I'm not gonna. I hate to untie them, but I hate not to untie them and leave a wire wrapped around boards that, even if it's a minor amount, have electricity running through them. Wait, I put the wrong end over there. So this plugs into, where'd it go? Where'd it go? So many wires. That's H, not H. Actually, it should be. And there it is. Now I lost the other end of the wire. So N, and then it says turn it on and push which button. I don't remember which button it was. No, that one does that. Actually, it was this one, I think. Yep. So these lights work. It says glow, glow, glow everywhere it glows. Where is O? Okay, there's O. This is O. Come on, get in there. Press on the brake pedal. Like that's supposed to be easy. After I watched a stream with somebody doing this, I actually looked to see where everything was and if I could reach it. And I think the brake pedal was the one thing that was going to be a little bit painful. And first things first, make sure things are on. Things are getting serious when I put on my headlight. I was actually afraid that was going to happen. Oh, wait. We have red light and it's out of the screen. Brake pedal works.
Excellent.
It's just really far in there to get to. Plug in cable G. Turn stuff off first. The good news is cable G is the last cable that gets plugged in, except the speaker wire. I heard somebody posted something on Discord, and I looked over and I saw SCHUHMAN's comment of ludicrous speed.
It looks like Ian's taking off. Time for buffalo wings.
Very cool. Try turning it the right way, maybe it'll fit. It's amazing how well they fit when you've got them the right way.
Ian is now watching from his phone in the kitchen.
Okay, so make sure stuff is on. And it's back to one of these two. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool. Those are the warning flashers for when the bus is stopped.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's really cool. The brake lights come on too then. And that, it literally says, We find it helpful to tie the cables, hold them in separate bundles, blah, 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 blah. But you now have a rat's nest next to your bus. It doesn't say that, but that's the truth of the matter. Where did I put that tape?
Did you say that's the end of the stage?
That's the end of this stage.
Oh, wow.
This stage was all plugging in wires.
Well, I'm glad it all works.
Me too. I'm ecstatic that it all worked. Because there's a lot of really intricate little wiring spots in this thing. And so many wires that it would be so easy to pinch. I'm going to leave this for tonight, sitting up here, upside down. But let me think. I'm trying to remember stuff. Okay, I'm going to call that it for tonight. I call this a very successful stream.
Definitely.
And let me see, what was the next stage? Let me just take a, yeah. The next stage will be the piece of, will be this piece of the floor, so that the stage after that, either that stage or the stage after, I believe that we will be attaching. Oh no, still got upper handrails. There's a bunch to go yet. Thanks, Dave. I really appreciate it. And thank you everybody for stopping by. Had a blast. I'm loving this build. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is probably the best part works I've ever done. I love this thing. I know why Dave's done 5, because it is a cool build. Those wires are a pain for a while now. Best to wrap them up carefully. Yeah, I'm going to find some way to bundle them together. Thanks, Shu. I really appreciate it. So appreciate you guys stopping by. I'll be streaming this again next week, and then don't forget we have the let's see. We got Northern Hobby. I forgot. Northern Model Builders are streaming almost every day this week. At least one stream, if not 2. Eric's streaming tomorrow. Yes, thank you, Dave. Smash the like button. Eric's streaming tomorrow. HTM. Eric's streaming all week. He's doing games. HTM will stream on Friday. We'll stream again on Sunday, and we'll be back to the Routemaster on Monday. Lots of streams coming up. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you next time, and have a great day tomorrow. Take care of yourselves out there, and we will see you next time.